Today I have another episode for you shooting street photography with the Ricoh GR4. I hope you will be entertained and maybe learn a few things along the way. You're in for a treat with some banger street photography action. So let's get right into it. Again, it was an early start before sunrise. There were also a ton of photographers, but fortunately, most of them were interested in making photos of the masongs getting their wild piercings. I wasn't shooting that much because it was difficult to get decent shots with how crowded it was. Not much later, the parade started to kick off and it began with a bang, quite literally. Even though there were already a lot of people watching, it was nothing compared to what you'll see later on in this video. Some of the masongs went on a detour to the seaside to do a ritual. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what it was about since I don't speak the language. I didn't get any close-up shots since I didn't want to disturb them. When I caught up with the rest of the parade, things got wild very quickly. I have more close-up shots of what was going on here, but those are on my website since they are a bit too much for YouTube. At some spot you could see some masongs waiting. I'm not sure why, but it made for an interesting scene with all the people sitting in the background and the Western guy sipping his beverage. One important thing as a photographer is to maybe not shoot only the obvious stuff, but also pay attention to what's happening on the sidelines. Here you can see people watching the parade go by and some ladies shielding themselves from all the loud noise of the firecrackers. I told you there were a ton of people watching the parade that day. That just shows how important this event is for the locals. Also in the Old Town Center, the firecrackers are the most intense during most parades. All the guys carrying the palanquins get absolutely bombarded. Here you can see senior masongs in front of the main palanquin. When they pass, they ask people to kneel down to show respect to the gods. An elderly lady sat next to the parade, maybe waiting for a masong to stop and bless her and rid her of evil spirits. I hope in the image the whole firecracker craziness comes across. A blink of an eye that tells the story. This elderly masong was so full of energy. I saw him a few times during the parade and he's that kind of guy I would call a badass. It was absolutely amazing watching him. Another group of people watching the parade, maybe a whole family with different generations all in one photo. Some of the bystanders put a massive amount of firecrackers on top of this palanquin. Why? Because the crew carrying it were keen to take a selfie while the firecrackers went off. I have tons more images, but let's crack on to the next major event the following morning. If you now think, man, I wish I knew how to use flash in street photography, well, I got you covered. Check out my video course, it will teach you everything that you need to know to get started using flash in the streets or to lift up your skills to the next level. Also, I have a brand new video course coming on January 1st in 2026. And in over 3 hours of lessons, I teach you everything important you need to know about street photography, gear, settings, and how to overcome your fears. Basically, how to go from zero to hero. The course will be available on January 1st, but you can pre-order until December 31st for a whopping 50% off. Both links to both the courses will be in the description box below this video. This Masong went into trance and was ready to do his ritual before getting pierced. This time the event was at Jui Tui Shrine, which is the #1 shrine in Phuket. As expected, it was super crowded, but I still managed to get some shots before the parade started. This guy was waiting for his turn to enter the shrine. Here I spotted this gentleman coated in gold paint. I've never seen this before. He really stood out from the other Masongs, even without a piercing. Then it was time for the parade, and I spotted a Masong blessing people in the middle of the road. Here, a female Masong blessed this makeshift shrine on the sidewalk. The parade was very wild again with lots of firecrackers, but this time I tried to stay out of it. I didn't follow the parade for long because I wanted to go back to Jui Tui to photograph the Masongs when they returned to begin their procedure to get out of trance. Luckily, there were almost no photographers there. We stayed for about an hour and it was great. Typically, Masongs who have piercings get them removed before entering the shrine. Some of the shots I can't really show here because the Masongs, or at least some of them, they had deep cuts on their cheeks, so I can't show them here, but they are over on my website in case you're interested. The next episode will conclude this series and it will be a very special one.